Hello friends, welcome to Doodles Escape the Napkins and Sketchbooks how-to video. There's going to be a full list of materials needed to complete this project listed on my blog, lizettedesigns.com. But the most important thing you're going to need are doodles. I've gone ahead and cut out some doodles for my sketchbook that I may use in this project. Once you've got a good amount of doodles ready, cut out, you're also going to want some sort of container. I'm going to use a container that used to hold berries that's been washed and cleaned, and I'm not going to worry so much about taking off those labels because they're going to be covered up. Using Mod Podge or any other clear adhesive, I'm going to put a small layer of the Mod Podge on the base of the inside of the container. This is going to adhere the tissue paper onto the container that we're going to do next. Using a hot pink tissue paper, I'm going to apply a layer into the container. This is going to be a great color complement to the greens and aquas we're going to use in just a little bit with acrylic paints. I find it easier to work with smaller pieces of tissue paper so it conforms to the shape of the box. So cut it up into small pieces or tear, and it'll make it easier for you to stick them into the container. Continue this process until you have a good base inside of the container. If you feel your hands are getting too sticky, use baby wipes like you see me doing here or some sort of wet washcloth. After that's dried for a few minutes, I'm going to take a second layer of tissue paper and cover up any holes I may have. You'll continue on with this process like the first layer until you're satisfied with the coverage. If you don't like to use your finger with the glue, then you can use some sort of brush, but make sure to wash it so it doesn't ruin your brush with the glue. Now taking one of the doodles that I've cut out of my sketchbook and some watercolor crayons, I'm going to color in the doodles to give them some depth. I'm going to start with this dark blue crayon as a base. These watercolor crayons are activated with water, so I'm going to spritz some water onto this doodle and then using a paintbrush, change it from a crayon texture to a watercolor. These are some of my favorite materials to use. I love, love, love these watercolor crayons. And then using a red watercolor crayon, I'm going to outline just the outside shape of my little spiral doodle. And once wet, it's going to turn into a deep violet color since it's sitting on top of the blue, and red and blue make purple. Using some distress ink and a clear stamp, I'm going to add just a little bit more depth to my doodle. The stamp's being a little finicky. I'm going to have to apply some more ink. I'm just going to randomly stamp on a design, and I'm going to repeat that 2 more times. Whoops, that totally needs more ink. Let's try that again. Awesome. I'm going to glue that to the inside of my box, and then using some tacky glue and some leftover embellishments I had for Christmas, these little Dr. Seuss balls, as I like to call them, fluff balls if you will, I'm going to create a stand for my doodle to sit on and also a fluffy base to the inside of the container. And I'm going to continue the process using different color fluffy balls and gluing them to the inside of the box. I'm going to add this little orange ball to the very top of the doodle. That way it sticks up. And just like we did at the very beginning, I'm going to repeat the process on the inside of the top lid using the hot pink tissue paper. And you'll just glue that down as you did before. I'm just going to go ahead and fill up some of this space with some more of the fluffy balls. Taking another doodle of mine and some watercolor crayons, I'm going to bring it just a little bit more life by coloring it in. This project would also be fantastic if you didn't color in your doodles and you just left them white with your pencil drawing. But this piece is colorful, so I'm going to go ahead and color in my doodles. Back with the water and the paintbrush, I'm just going to activate the watercolor crayons. And then using one of my favorite glitter pens, I'm going to add a little bit more detail to the doodle. Of course, she needs eyelashes. Applying tacky glue to the back of the doodle, I'm going to adhere the doodle to the top inner lid. Using some puffy stickers, I'm going to randomly place them inside of the container. This one says lucky, that one says me, then how about sweet and love ya? My doodle wants to say something, so let's give her a little speech bubble. And then going back to that favorite glitter pen, we'll see what she's going to say. Hi. Now while that's drying on the inside, let's work on the top layer. Using this cardstock to embellish that has a really cute saying on it, I'm going to glue it to the top of the box. It says, "The little things really are the big things." Like this video if you totally agree with that saying. Now what would a project be without acrylic paint? Using this aqua color and this apple color that's left over from one of my other projects, I'm going to paint the inside of the upper lid. You'll continue on painting until the inside of the lid is completely covered. And like I say with most of my art projects, don't worry if it's neat. This is just the first layer, and in my opinion, the messier the better. While that's drying, I'm also going to color in the lip of the box. After letting that dry for a few minutes, I'm going to go back in with this apple green color and put a second layer. You'll notice that some of the aqua color is peeking through, and that's exactly what I want to happen. Now she's popping. You'll notice that the top cover has already been decorated by just decorating the inside and it being a clear container. You see all of the paint and all of the tissue paper shine through the top. But let's add a little bit more to it. Taking that same paint, I'm just going to randomly add color. This will just make it blend into the piece a little bit more. I'll repeat the same process using the aqua color. Now before flipping this over, we definitely want it to dry, and I'm impatient, so I'm going to use my embossing tool and just speed up the drying process so that I could flip the container over and finish off the back. Whoop! There we go! And just like the front, you see that all of the colors are peeking through. But I want to add more color, so I'm going to go in with the apple green and I'm going to paint a layer on the bottom. I'm also going to use the aqua color to finish off the sides. Adding another cute little speech bubble that happens to have a little heart on it. I'm going to adhere that onto the bottom, which is awesome because it's covering up some of the labeling that was on the container. I'm also going to use another little 3D sticker here and cover up more of those items I want covered. How about some stars? Every doodle needs some stars. And let's write a little something on our note. Happy creating! Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe for more creative madness. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment on what you would like to see next on my channel. Hope you guys are all having a great one. Cheers!